Police in southern Kentucky use a plane to help capture an escapee who ran off from officers. Details ahead at 4:30.
Mine workers rally in Washington. I'm Jacqueline Pulaski. I'll tell you why they say this is a matter of life or death.
And a Playboy playmate could face jail time for a body-shaming Snapchat post.
This is WKYT News at 4:30.
Good afternoon. Jennifer Palumbo and Amber Philpott reporting. Sam has the day off. A Pulaski County man is back in custody after running from police as he was being taken to jail.
Police say 28-year-old Anthony Schultheis ran off early this morning when the Sally Port at the Pulaski County Jail was full, with officers booking other suspects. Police say a new aircraft was the difference in helping them catch him. WKYT's Phil Pendleton has more now from Somerset in our top story at 4:30.
So the officer has to get out of the vehicle, open the door, and literally walk the suspect into the jail, and that's when he escaped and the chase was on. Surveillance video at the jail captured the suspect run off. You can see the flashlight of the officer on the top of the screen as the man gets away. Police say that was Anthony Schultheis. They say that he was found in a stolen car, and that's why he was being booked in the Pulaski County Jail. After he got away, Somerset police put their gyroplane in the air, and they were able to spot him on the ground and finally capture him. Police say the gyroplane was the difference in spotting him in an area with a lot of thick trees and bushes.
Got him contained into about a 2 or 3 acre wooded area. Now, it wasn't just wooded, it was densely populated with brush and trees.
We spoke to Anthony Schultheis in jail, what he has to say about this interesting morning coming up at 5:30. But for now in Pulaski County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Well, again, we talked to Anthony Schultheis in jail, and he's going to talk to us about this interesting morning coming up at 5:30 here on WKYT. It's been another steamy and dry day, but we could soon see some storms.
And that's not the only change we'll see. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey has a first look at the forecast. Chris?
Yeah, you know what? Even fans of summer are probably saying, this is enough now. We're after Labor Day. We're heading toward the middle of September. Wave the white flag. Let's get some fall-like air in here. It's coming. It's just not right now. Look at that strong southwesterly wind that is out there. And that is ushering in those temperatures into the upper 80s to right at 90 again today into much of central and eastern Kentucky. But look to our north and west. There's the relief. 74 Indianapolis, 75 St. Louis. That's because those are areas with showers and some thunderstorms that are currently ongoing. We've had actually a little shower trying to pop, a couple of them into parts of central Kentucky over the past few hours, dying out very quickly. We're going to have to wait until the front to our northwest gets a little closer in here. That's front number 1. That impacts later tonight into the day tomorrow. It's the second front that means business as we get deeper into the weekend. That's out now cruising out of the Rockies into the Plain States. That'll cool us down in a big way. So we're going to track a few thunderstorms. Then that fall cold front blows in here with much cooler air that will follow right behind that front. And coming up here in just a few minutes, we will track that front, time it into where you live, and show you just how great of a temperature drop we are talking. That's in about 5 minutes.
Just days after a for-profit college in Lexington closed, employees who lost their jobs returned to the school today. Employees told us they were allowed back at ITT Tech to pick up their personal belongings. The school closed permanently on Tuesday after the U.S. Department of Education said it would no longer provide financial aid for students. While we were at ITT Tech this morning, we found several students trying to figure out the status of their transcripts and degrees. You'll hear from an upset employee on WKYT News at 5:30. Thousands of mine workers and their supporters rallied on the National Mall today, demanding health care and retirement benefits.
Washington Bureau Chief Jacqueline Pulaski reports on the fight to preserve a promise made many years ago.
Under late summer's blazing sun, retired mine workers take on another difficult job.
We give our best years to the mine company, and they just toss us aside.
The group is asking Congress to pass the Miners Protection Act. The bill would give retired miners nearly $500 million in health care and retirement benefits. If Congress doesn't act, the United Mine Workers of America say the funds could run out by next year.
It means I might have to go back to work somewhere and find a job that I could do. I don't know what I could do, you know, that would have some kind of health care insurance.
The bill would not offer support to coal miners outside the union. The benefits are a 70-year-old government promise. President Harry Truman guaranteed the miners health care and retirement benefits. He did this to avoid a strike. Congressman Andy Barr says President Obama's energy policy is to blame for bankrupting the coal industry.
For those who say the war on coal is a myth, tell that to the 10,000 Kentucky coal miners who have lost their jobs. Tell that to the 3 workers who have lost their jobs for every 1 coal miner who lost his or her job in my district, which is not a coal-producing district.
Lawmakers who don't support the pension measure say they're worried it could set a precedent for bailing out other unions. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell blocked the bill last year. Senator Rand Paul's office refused to clarify whether or not he supports the bill. Reporting in Washington, Jacqueline Policastro, WKYT.
The Miners Protection Act could get a Senate committee vote next week. West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin tells us the bill needs the support of 8 more Republican senators in order to pass if it comes up for a vote. A Pulaski County mother believes her son would still be alive today if the people he was with would have gotten him help after a drug overdose. Samantha Price says her son Jerry Price was driven around for hours following an overdose this summer, passing several hospitals. The Rockcastle County Sheriff is investigating the case and says Price's life could have been saved if he had received medical attention in time. There is a Kentucky law meant to protect those that witness a drug overdose if they get help for the victim.
I think a lot of people still think that possibly, you know, hey, it's a trap. They're going to catch me, and I'm going to, you know, so I don't want a part of it.
Is it going to work in every situation? Of course not. No law works in every situation. It's another tool. It's another tool we've put out there to try to save lives.
Tonight at 6 here on WKYT, we investigate the Good Samaritan law. Is the law doing its job to save lives?
Crews spent hours cleaning up fuel from a semi that spilled into the Elkhorn Creek this morning. The semi crashed into a bridge over the creek at the Scott-Woodford County line. Georgetown Scott County Emergency Management says around 100 gallons of fuel leaked. Some of it went down a storm drain and into the creek.
The bulk of it was caught. We did have a little bit of diesel fuel that probably went downstream. It was very minimum. It's going to be heavily diluted due to the amount of water that's in the creek. We have blooms deployed for probably a mile down the creek, 3 or 4 different spots down the creek that we have booms that will try to contain and catch the oil as it continues to go down, or the diesel fuel.
Captain Palmer says there is very little environmental impact from this leak. The driver of the semi was not hurt in the crash. Traffic on I-64 southbound was down to 1 lane for nearly 4 hours this morning. A Playboy playmate accused of body shaming could soon face criminal charges.
Danny Mathers posted a photo of another woman in a gym locker room, and now that woman has been identified and is helping police. Maria Villarreal has the story from Los Angeles.
Hey guys, it's Danny Mathers here, your 2015 Playmate of the Year.
A Playboy playmate, Danny Mathers, is used to having her body on display. But back in July, the 29-year-old captured an unsuspecting elderly woman on camera changing in the locker room of an LA fitness gym. She captioned the nude photo, "If I can't unsee this, then you can't either," before posting it to Snapchat.
There is no question that by her own caption, that she intended to shame this woman. And that's the nub of this case.
If charged, Mathers could face up to 6 months in jail for violating California privacy laws. In a statement, an attorney for Mathers said the model never tried to hurt anyone at any time and never intended to violate any law.
I know that body shaming is wrong, and that's not what I'm about. That's not.
After the incident, Mathers apologized in a Snapchat video and on Twitter.
That photo was taken to be part of a personal conversation with a girlfriend, and because I am new to Snapchat, I really didn't realize that I had posted it, and that was a huge mistake.
For heaven's sake, this elderly woman, we should be applauding her. She's at the gym trying to make herself better. You can rest assured that this is a case that is really going to cause deterrence, not only for the person who took the picture, but also for others.
Following the incident, Mathers was banned from all LA fitness gyms for life, and she made most of her social media accounts private. The Los Angeles City Attorney's Office is now reviewing the case and deciding whether or not to file charges. Mireya Villarreal, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Congress is still deadlocked over emergency funding in the fight against the Zika virus. In a dramatic turn of events yesterday, Florida Congressman David Jolly brought some bottled up mosquitoes to the House floor to protest the lack of action. Aerial spraying for mosquitoes scheduled today over Miami Beach has been postponed until tomorrow because of public health concerns. A Hollywood actress talks about portraying a tragic figure in American politics. That's coming up on WKYT News at 4:30.
Your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
A lot of sunshine yet again across the area, though, as advertised, some more clouds today, and those are some nice-looking clouds out there. Should make for a fiery sunset into parts of especially central and western parts of the area. Live look outside at 9 different sky cams. We got you covered from Louisville, E-Town, and Bowling Green all the way through the Bluegrass region, northern Kentucky, into the mountains of eastern Kentucky, and all of those cameras showing a similar scene. One thing they're not capturing, we let our temperature map do that. It's the heat that is out there again, upper 80s to around 90 degrees into most of central and eastern Kentucky. We've actually had a little shower or two trying to pop into the Bluegrass region. Those are having a very tough time holding on right now. You got to get back toward Indianapolis, got to go towards St. Louis, southern Illinois, southern Indiana. Now we pick up on some showers and thunderstorms that will continue to work their way toward the area. So as we go into tomorrow, anyone is fair game for a shower or thunderstorm at any point tomorrow. But you know what? It is not going to rain all day. You're going to have a lot of dry times out there. There will be some areas that don't even see a drop of rain tomorrow. Temperatures, though, because of some clouds, will be held likely into the low and mid-80s for many of us. Then high school football fans, temperatures mainly in the 70s. So a few storms around, and tomorrow's another windy day. Saturday's really windy. Watch out for some afternoon thunderstorms that can be on the strong side. Get to Sunday. Sunshine, low humidity, cooler weather. Finally will feel like it should. September. Here's the cold front. That's the good guy in all of this that is barreling its way toward the Bluegrass state. That arrives as we go into Saturday afternoon. I do think it will have a potent little line of some thunderstorms. The headline on all this is that front puts an end to at least this stretch of crazy hot temperatures. Fall blast will come in behind that. This air coming on Sunday and into Monday isn't too dissimilar to what we just had over Labor Day weekend. And you remember how nice Labor Day weekend was. I think Sunday into Monday equally as nice. Can we hit 90 into eastern Kentucky ahead of that front on Saturday? I think we can on a gusty southwesterly wind. And watch how quickly those numbers begin to drop. 61 in Covington. Still 71 Ashland. Here comes the cold front. Everybody into the 50s to begin your Sunday. Maybe low and mid 50s. Sunday afternoon, low 70s into parts of eastern Kentucky, where got to watch for a little low-level cloud cover to hang tough in there. If that's the case, boy, you may see a few upper 60s holding tough. Then mid 70s for the rest of the area. This is nothing that is out of the ordinary. It is just going to feel cooler because of how crazy hot we have been over the past 4 or 5 days. One more little spike up on Saturday. That's ahead of the front, then boom. We drop it down 75, gorgeous degrees on Sunday, and long-range call into next week with warmer temperatures creeping back into our weather picture. Up and down we go for the next week.
I never advocate for a lot of rain, especially on the weekend, but we really need it.
Yes, we do.
Especially southern parts of Lexington missed out on the rains last week. Northern parts of Fayette County a week ago picked up better than an inch or two of rain. Southern Lexington didn't get it. Southern Kentucky needs more than we need in the Bluegrass region. We'll get at least a drink or two over the next
Get what we
days.
need and then move on, right?
That's right. There you
Thanks,
go.
Chris.
We are cooking some things up in the kitchen, preparing for a taste of home. I'm Deanne Stevens, out and about with a preview today, and more on how you can get your tickets when we return here on WKYT.
If you're looking to expand your cooking game, then look no further than Taste of Home.
Our Deanne Stevens is out and about with more on a special show that you can take part in. Hi, Deanne.
Hey, good afternoon, guys. We are out and about today in the kitchen, the beautiful home of the Turner family. Nice enough to let us borrow a kitchen because clearly ours doesn't get used enough. We have Mandy and Marcy with us, our iHeartMedia chefs, we're going to call them today, because we're preparing for an event called A Taste of Home. It is happening October 27th. The good news is tickets just went on sale today. What is A Taste of Home, Mandy?
It is a cooking school where we teach people how to cook.
Did they know that that we at iHeart needed help?
Yes, that's where we need to go. We need to learn how. So they do demonstrations, they set up booths, people get to walk around those different vendors and buy things and learn things. And
this is actually a show that travels across the country.
Travels around the country.
And we're lucky enough to have it stopping off in Somerset at the Rural Development Center. And a pretty cool chef, I understand, is going to be there that day.
Dana Elliott's going to be there. She's won lots of awards. She's very known in that community.
Right.
Taste of Home is a cookbook and a magazine, as most people know. So they have very well-renowned chefs that are part of their program. So.
And they left this to us, is what's scary. Marcy is with us now, and just a bit ago, we are putting together these Brandy Snap cannolis. We've already done the wrappers, they're in the oven, and now what are we putting together?
Now we are making the filling. So of course, like any good cannoli, we're gonna have some ricotta cheese and some heavy whipping cream, a little sugar. We're also going to add a little orange zest.
Clearly not the fat-free recipe.
No, this is a dessert for the ones who like a real dessert. So we're gonna put a little orange zest in there, and then we are going to mix this all together and put these in the wrappers and wrap them with chocolate chips on the outside. So just
Yummy,
a little extra chocolate at the end.
And by the way, this is one of the recipes that are part of A Taste of Home. Now, how do folks get tickets?
They go to centertech.com. They are on sale there right now.
On sale today. The event's October 27th, Rural Development Center in Somerset. And I can promise you this, we will not be teaching the cooking school. However, we will be taking the classes. And this, by the way, the finished product for those Brandy Snap cannolis. They look delicious. I think we should all try one because we have been working so hard. Grab one, ladies. We have been working so hard. We'll see you at A Taste of Home. I'm Deanne Stevens. Out and about.
Very good.
Back to you guys.
Looks good.
They do. That sounded pretty good there, too.
Natalie Portman talks about the challenges of her newest movie role, and Marilyn Monroe's dress could be worth millions.
Plus, something new from Lady Gaga. Chris Martinez has your eye on entertainment.
Lady Gaga's newest single hits the airwaves tomorrow. The pop star posted the release date for Perfect Illusion on social media, along with the cover art. Marilyn Monroe's birthday song to President Kennedy made her dress almost as famous as she was. The flesh-color beaded gown has become such an icon, it's expected to draw as much as $3 million at Julian's auction house this fall.
We will have a procession, and I will walk to the cathedral with the casket.
Natalie Portman says starring in the movie Jackie posed a special kind of challenge. Portman plays Jacqueline Kennedy during the time she was First Lady and after her husband's assassination.
People know what she looked like and what she sounded like and how she moved. So I really wanted to get that right, but then also not do a caricature.
Portman was in Italy Wednesday for the film's world premiere at the Venice Film Festival. Stars gathered for the New York premiere of the newest comedy from producer Lorne Michaels.
Brother-in-law. Technically, we're not even that yet. Tell that to my heart.
Brother Nature shows what happens when a buttoned-up politician gets acquainted with his rowdy future in-laws.
It was just a good group of really funny, talented people, and I had such a wonderful experience with them.
Brother Nature arrives in theaters and on demand on Friday. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Chris Martinez, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Johnny Depp is taking on a real-life role. Sources for The Hollywood Reporter say Depp has signed on to play Los Angeles police detective Russell Poole, who investigated the murders of Tupac Shakur and Notorious B.I.G. in the upcoming film Labyrinth. Lincoln lawyer director Brad Furman is slated to direct.
Beachgoers were left with an unforgettable sight. How this happened after the break. It's another dry and steamy day, but good news is on the way.
Yes, Chris Bailey. I have a yard. I know a lot of folks have a yard that needs a little bit of a drink right now.
It does. And you know what? September's a dry month anyway, but it doesn't normally coincide with temperatures around 90 for 4 or 5 straight days. So it's kind of drying us out pretty quickly over the past several days. We look outside right now, and Amber, by the way, I'm working to get your yard some water, all right? Not really physically working, but Mother Nature's going to do the trick. Upper 80s. to around 90 degrees. That live look outside on our 4 Kentucky sky cams here, and all showing a similar view. Mix of sun and some clouds out there should make for a fiery sunset on a gusty southwesterly wind that is also aiding in a little bit of drying. Nothing showing up right now. Defender radar network into central or eastern Kentucky, but thunderstorms to our northwest will begin to scoot in here as we go into later tonight and into Friday, at least scattered fashion. We'll track that and the rest of the weekend forecast a little later. Right now, let's track the traffic. Live drive traffic it is with Officer Don.
Just got word of a collision at Newtown and Citation. Just happened a couple of minutes ago that'll have part of Newtown Pike blocked between Citation and the interstate. Still the traffic hazard down too. It's at the 3rd and Chestnut Street, and just a part of the road closed there for some work. To Nicholasville, 13 minutes, Georgetown 17, and Richmond now running about 24. Now back to you in the studio.
A proud mother moment, a beached yacht, and dinosaur prints. It's the video that will have you talking. Take a look at this.
Nothing makes a parent happier than a sign that they're raising their children right. And a Texas mother is sharing her proud moment. Heather Nelson and her 5-year-old son Royce were running late to school. So she was surprised when Royce suddenly stopped and bowed his head. A nearby officer pointed out to her that her son was acknowledging the Pledge of Allegiance. Nelson snapped this photo and posted it on Facebook. No surprise, it has gone viral. Good for him.
Yes, and she has done something right as a mother. Florida police say a boater faces charges after crashing his 72-foot yacht into the shore off Palm Beach.
Oops.
It's a sign that might make you blink. Police say the boater, who was drunk, walked away from his fancy yacht after beaching it onto a sandbar. Police were notified after a couple discovered the vessel on their routine beach walk. Police charged the boat owner with DUI. Now his other problem is figuring out how he's going to get that boat out of the water.
That's going to be an expensive process. People walking along an Australian beach also stumbled across an unusual sight this week. Experts say beachgoers found what they believe are dinosaur footprints that are 130 million years old. Paleontologists say the tracks have likely been hidden under the sand and surf and believe they belonged to a medium-sized carnivore.
Huh. All I ever want to find is a sand dollar at the beach.
I'd
And
be
then
happy
you
for a
find
show.
that. Yeah, absolutely. All right, stick with us. Here's what we're working on for you now at 5 o'clock.